Hey guys, Sublord here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Venom Let There Be Carnage Deluxe Carnage. Brought to us by the fine folks over at Hasbro, and I'm a little bit late to the game on this one, truth be told, but hey, better late than never, and oh my goodness, do I love this figure. This figure is freaking awesome and has potential for being one of my favorite Marvel Legends of the year, but we still have plenty of 2024 to get through before that happens, so fingers crossed old Carnage here is still eligible by then. But with that being said, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase, get into meat and taters of this review and take a look, see at all Mr. Carnage has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with a couple of way-upon hands. We got the kind of claw with the blade coming out of it. I feel like this would have been cooler if he had two finger blades, but whatever. And then we got this big chungus blade here. And this has a hinge going up and down. This has a hinge going in and out. So, appropriate hinges, if you ask me. Then we also get an open mouth head, which I like. I think it's cool. His eyes are a little bit more squinted there, but I don't know. I think it works. And then we get a few tendril pieces. So the first one is this one with this crazy spike thing on the end of it. And all these tendrils have bendy wire in them. You can bend them however you want, within reason. I will say you can bend them up until like here, somewhere around here, and that's as far as you're gonna get, unfortunately. Yeah, you can't bend it any closer to the base than that. So you're just gonna have to accept that, and wish they put some hinges in there. Because I will say, this guy does take up a decent amount of real estate because of that, but you can always leave these off if they bug you that much. That said, we get a couple more of these. We get this one, which has a similar kind of spike dad on it. Can these unplug? They can. So you can, I don't know, put other stuff on there. What's weird is it's just this one that moves, and you get this blade here. Sucks that that doesn't pop off, because that would be cool to put on him. Yeah, you can't do nothing with that, so not quite sure what the point of that is, but it's there. Then you also get this one, which has this crazy spike club thing, which again you can also take off. Fairly self-explanatory. And again, they all have bendy wire in them. These, of course, will plug into the holes located on his back there. 1, 2, 3. Now, personally, I like to put the two, kind of two tendril ones up here, and then put the other one here, kind of like a scorpion tail or something. But I will say I wish they were all just single tendrils. Easier to manage. But those of you not in the know, this version of Carnage goes up against this version of good old Venom. Quote that Eminem song from the first movie. And as you can see, he dwarfs the crap out of this. This is from the Venom Pool Build-A-Figure wave. He did not come with the Build-A-Figure part, but he was in the wave nonetheless. They are reissuing him with more movie-accurate kind of vein, lightning bolt, whatever you want to call them, details on the arms and shoulders. And then he's got some symbiote heads that plug onto his back. That is a Target exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. And at this current time, I do not have that version. So we're just going to have to stick with this guy for now. That said, this is the King in Black. Kind of gritted teeth. Venom head. This is not a head that came with this figure, but it looks really good on there. So I've left it there ever since. That's it. Taking a closer look at Carnage. Very similar to that Venom. He is pinless. He's pinless. And he is, of course, a little bigger. That said, this thing looks like someone ripped the skin off, I don't know, a guy with a face like that. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty grotesque. That said, as far as articulation goes, his head is on a double ball peg that is worth a crap for Marvel Legends. You can look up, you can look down, you can tilt side to side, rotate all the way around. If you're wondering about the head, you can actually swap those pretty easily. And you get about the same range out of both heads. Maybe the other one looks down a little more because it doesn't have the open mouth in the way, but you know what I mean. Shoulders will go up to the side, not that far. They will rotate all the way around. He does have a bicep swivel, but I will tell you, on mine anyways, very, very tight out of package. If you're familiar with my modification to all figures utilizing the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man body buck in the boot cut area, the calf cut, I usually heat them up, pop them off, put a little soap in there, pop them back together. I had to do that with this guy's biceps because they are built like those calves, like those boot cuts. The peg is more ribbed as opposed to just being like a stump or whatever with a bit of a ridge to it that snaps into the arm. This thing was like ribbed. Like it was longer. It's like twice as long as normal, and it had more than one notch, we'll say. Probably to keep the arm tight for the weapons, but the weapons don't weigh that much. If anything, the tendrils weigh a lot. So the diaphragm joint should be really tight, which thankfully it is, but, you know, just something to note there. I had to do that with mine. You may not for yours, but hashtag don't break your toys. That said, he does have a double elbow. He's got a swivel in the wrist with a hinge. That works fine. Thought I had an upside down elbow for a second there. It's about to be like, what? No! And as far as the diaphragm goes, it can go that far back, this far forward. You can tilt side to side pretty well, and rotate. Personally, I still think this should be inverted. The ab crunch up here, ball joint down here, like G.I. Joe Classified. But I digress. That said, his ab crunch can move that far back, that far forward. Nothing too impressive, really. But it's nice and tight. Hips will kick out to the side, almost perfect split. So suck on that, Spider-Man. They can kick up a little bit, kick back, whatever. It's got a well-shaded arse back there. That's kind of funny. Thigh cut works just fine. Double knee works just fine. Everything looks pretty clean on this guy too. And then the feet on mine anyways are pretty tight. I know some people got loose feet. I do not, thankfully. But you can kick back that far, kick forward that far. He's got a rocker. And then he's got, does he have peg holes? He might not have peg holes. Well, ain't that a monkey's uncle? I thought he had a peg hole. Maybe he does. I can't tell. But if he's got peg holes, he should fit on a handy-dandy Toddy Mac hockey puck display stand. But if not, well, then I guess you're screwed. Have fun trying not to get him to fall over. That said, I like this figure a lot. I think he's awesome. He has his shortcomings. I think the tendrils could have had some kind of disc hinge for when you plug them into the back here. That way you could have them fold up against the body instead of having them be all the way out. But they don't stick out as far as I thought. Nor as far as people made them out to be. So I'm okay with that. I think this is an awesome figure. And if you're a fan of the movie, like I am, and trust me, I like the Nicolas Cage, had a brain fart there, Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider movie the most out of any Marvel movie. So, you know, I'm one to talk when it comes to good cinema, but, you know, sometimes you just gotta love the cheese. You gotta embrace the cheese. So before we wrap this thing up, to our two regulars here, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith, excuse me, and the infamous 11 Spawn, who is not towering over everyone today because Carnage is a Deluxe figure. That said, this video is brought to you in part by Gatorade because I am dead tired, freaking exhausted, and it is taking all my power not to pass out while I record this review. So, excuse the burp. That said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from the fact that good old Carnage here is a total real estate killer, the biceps, at least for me, were a little nerve-wracking to get working in a way that I was comfortable moving them. I mean, I appreciate tight joints as much as the next guy, but yeesh. So, as always, be careful when you're messing around with your new, shiny action figures. Hashtag don't break your toys. That said, though, I really, really like this figure. I think he is freaking awesome and has potential for being one of my favorite Marvel Legends of the year. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.